Hello, Clement229 here with another Topic of the Week video. This week I'm going to be talking about Lily Potter from the Harry Potter series and some stupidity involving the fandom. This week's topic was submitted by Tumblr user cats58976 and their topic is: can you please talk about Lily Potter and how the hate towards her character for walking away from Severus and eventually marrying James isn't justified? Oh boy. There's a very specific sect of fans who do this sort of crap. It's the Snape stans. People who think that Snape is just an innocent baboon, didn't do nothing wrong, and he really deserved Lily. Lily shouldn't have ever gotten with James because, Snape deserved her. He, all these wonderful things he did for her, like going after and harassing other students, supporting the people who wanted to murder her, joining the wizard Nazis, getting her and her family killed, abusing her son. All these wonderful things that Snape did for Lily. Sorry. It's just the man is so ridiculous at this. Okay. Snape could have been an interesting character, but he frankly wasn't. And I understand that some people who are only familiar with the movies and its whitewashed portrayal of Snape may not know all the details about this stuff, but people who've read the books really have no excuse. But really, and really, even if you've only watched the movies, you should take the time to understand why people have such an issue with Snape. And even in the movies, he's still not very good. But one of the things that really sticks out to me with Snape is that everyone always wants to go, oh, well, James and the Marauders were so horrible to him. He's just a victim. Yeah, except we also know from those flashbacks that he was going after the Marauders too. Is it any wonder that there was a conflict? Yeah, let's be honest. James and Sirius were kind of dickish back then. For a little while, we know that they developed as characters, and we know that James, just a few years later, was willing to die to protect his family. And did die, just to buy them some time. So, a lot of people always like to use that one snapshot of, oh, look, James is a terrible person. Snilly forever. Yeah, no, even at his worst, James was nowhere near as bad as Snape was, ever. And even when Snape was at Hogwarts, he was still getting into dark magic and stuff. He was still hanging out with people who would become Death Eaters. He thought that people going after Muggleborns was just all in good fun. He created, I believe the spell was Sectum Sempra. It's the one that Harry used against Draco. And it's the one that Snape created that literally kills you. Oops. And that spell that James used to suspend Snape, and I found out that Snape invented that, which means that Snape had to have used that on someone at some point. So we know Snape is doing all this BS, and he's treating everyone like garbage. He's treating Lily like garbage. And we can't forget how Snape called Lily a mudblood. Oh yes. The woman he loved. He called her by what is known as a derogatory term. I'm sorry. What? Hold the phone. So, Snape calls Lily, who, even if you take out his feelings for her, she's his childhood friend. He calls her a mudblood, which is shown as a pretty darn nasty term. So to refer to someone who's supposed to be his friend, a girl he supposedly loves, is it any wonder why she broke their friendship off? He treated her like trash. So this idea that Snape is just some nice guy, he doesn't even fall into the fake nice guys who pretend to be nice just to get with someone. No, he's not even that. He's never nice. It's like when Lily brings up the issues of, hey, you're supporting these people who are pretty awful. And then Snape's just like, that's no big deal, right? And then Lily's like, they want to kill people like me. I mean, Snape doesn't even really try to deny it. It's more of a, oh, well, Lily is okay. No. You don't have this severe prejudice and then go, oh, no, but the person I like is exempt from it. All the other Muggleborns can die, but no, Lily is okay. Is it any wonder I don't like this part of Snape's character? I mean, to be perfectly honest, I've never been that big of a fan of the whole Snape and Lily were childhood friends. It could have worked if Rowling was a good writer, but she's not. Or at the very least, she stopped trying, and by this point, it's just a huge mess. But I don't feel sympathy for Snape. I feel a lot of sympathy for Lily, and I actually understand. I really heavily sympathize with Lily, and I understand her plight with Snape. Because, okay, so she's friends with Snape, and Snape's always kind of a dickish, but alright, they're childhood friends. They go to Hogwarts, and Snape is doing awful things. He's getting mixed up with bad people, he's doing awful things, he supports Muggleborns being attacked, he thinks it's all good and fun, And Lily is just, she reaches a point where she's just like, I'm done. I can't do this. I can't make excuses. I can't be your friend anymore. I can't do this. And what she did was she cut ties with the toxic person. I'm sure a lot of people have been through this, and I know what this feels like, is that you know someone, and at first, you're friends for a while, and then just something changes, and they start becoming terrible, and sometimes they'll even start treating you terribly and expect you to take it, and it's just like, whoa, why? It's like, why is this all a problem? And it's like, okay, no, you act dickish, and I've been trying to make excuses. I've been trying to say, okay, you're still my friend, so I want to help you out. But it reaches a point where she had to just cut off the toxic friend. That's what Snape was. He was toxic. Snape is toxic. So what Lily did, I mean, and a lot of people try to frame it, like I've seen some people try to frame this as, oh, well, she left Snape for James. She was never with Snape. They were friends. Snape may have pined for her, but it was unrequited. And to be frank, it was never going to happen. But I mean, just even as friends, Lily tried. She spent years trying to make excuses for him, and eventually it's just like, you want to go after and hunt people down. Like the Marauders, you're trying to prove that Remus Lupin is a werewolf. And another thing is that he did get his way later on, like years later, because he ended up outing Remus anyway. When he knows that would get him out of the seat of the Defense Against the Dark Arts position, because Snape wants that, because he's a selfish douchebag, and Snape was just never good with Lily. He never treated her right, really. Even as a friend, we can see in the flashbacks, she's frustrated, and that's when she cuts it off. She didn't leave him for James, because we already know that Lily and James didn't date until their last year. So we have a couple of years of, James wising up and realizing, okay, I was acting kind of like a douchebag, and I want to be better. I wish we got to see this. I consider this a big fault, because it almost feels like in some ways that Rowling was cut out all the stuff that really could have really shown the development that James went through. Because we really could have seen that. That would have been great to actually see him. Okay, so he starts off being dickish here, but then he grows and becomes a better person. But at the very least, we know that happened. And we know from the very beginning that he was willing, that, he became a man who was willing to die for his family. And we eventually learned that he was a part of, the Order, and he was working to fight against Voldemort. So we know that Lily and James had a happy relationship, and that Lily didn't date him until he wised up and actually became a better person. So it's not like she just ran into the arms of an abuser. It's like, no. No. A lot of the Snape stands always try to demonize James. It's like, oh, he's this horrible person. No, okay, no. At worst, at his absolute worst, he was a schoolyard bully. But even then, it's hard to really see him as just some plain bully, because we know that he was still a decent guy, and he was still, like, he helped Sirius out a lot, especially when Sirius had all his drama with his family. And, you know, and since we know Snape does horrible things, and we know that Snape was targeting Remus, one of James's friends, you know, is it any wonder they didn't like Snape? And of course, them going the back and forth obviously caused problems, and Snape contributed to that. And Snape wasn't just sitting there minding his own business, and then the Marauders were like, ha ha ha, we're the bullies, and then psh. No, it's like, it's made clear that Snape wants to go after the Marauders. And yeah, they're gonna hit back. You know, especially all the stuff that they did for Remus. Shoot, you target Remus, and no wonder they wanted to get back at him, particularly James and Sirius. I mean, that doesn't mean make what they did right, but it's hard to feel sympathy for Snape when he's such a terrible person. And he really never gets better. He only changes sides because Voldemort kills Lily. And it's not even love. I wouldn't call what he feels love, it's this obsession. And like, because he also has this obsession with hating James. Like Harry, innocent child, orphaned, the son of the woman he supposedly loved, and he treats him like crap. Oh no, he was protecting him, but he still treated him like crap. A lot. To the point where, you know, there are a lot of times when you thought that Snape was actually just an outright bad guy. Arguably, he was at times. But this defense of Snape as if he's some sort of innocent victim and that everyone else was horrible and Lily treated him so badly from breaking off their friendship. No, she did the right thing. She broke off with a toxic friend. A guy who was totally okay with people like Lily, you know, the Muggles being attacked and even killed. He joined the Death Eaters. He served Voldemort. And he only had a change of heart. Oops, Lily's dead. I guess I'll switch sides now. It's like, and it's hard to even feel sympathy for any of that. It's like, you end up causing this BS. It's like, I mean, what makes him better than Peter Pettigrew? I feel more sympathy for Peter Pettigrew in the final book when he tries to help them and then dies. Seriously, I feel more sympathy for Peter Pettigrew than I do for Severus Snape. Frankly, once you let that sink in, it's like, ugh. Because at the very least, the books, you know, portray, you know, Peter as just a sniffering rat, literally and figuratively. And it tries to glorify Snape as some sort of hero. I'm like, no, he's not a hero. He's just a douchebag. Sure, he helped the good guys. That doesn't make him a hero. And he's certainly not worth Harry naming one of his sons after Snape. Ugh. That's just pisses me off. Like, oh yeah, the man who abused me, hated my father, went after, you know, people who I cared about, treated me and my friends like garbage. I'll name my son after him because he stalked my mom. I mean, seriously. He was just a creeper. And I understand what Rowling was trying to do. But it's the fact that if she wanted him to be heroic, we're gonna need a little bit more than he sided with the wizard Nazis. That's not exactly a sympathetic backstory. It never really, like, changed. It's like, because, you know, he still treats his students like crap, so why am I supposed to feel bad for him when Lily leaves him and just cuts him off? Oh no, she ended up marrying a guy who changed, became a better person, and became a good man and a good father. Shock. I mean, and a lot of these people who are like, Snape should have gotten with Lily, or Lily should have gone to Snape because he loved her. No. No. While we don't see much of Lily and James's relationship, which is an absolute shame, that we get more of like Snape's backstory than them. It's like, come on, these are Harry's parents. Well, we do get little bits, but you know, it's like it's easy to like them. And it's so disappointing that we didn't get more of that, but it's easy to see that they were a happy couple. We know this from the very beginning. We know that they were both willing to lay their life down to protect their son against Voldemort. You know, the evil Dark Lord. It's like, so you think that's worse than if she got with, you know, Snape? Who did join the Death Eaters? It's pretty much, as far as I remember, right out of Hogwarts. Boom, Death Eaters. James and Lily went with the Order to fight Voldemort. It's like, it just seems totally ridiculous to me that people hate Lily for cutting off someone. It's like when someone says, I am okay with people like you getting attacked and killed, but you're okay. Also, genocide's okay except for the people that I like. Is that what this is? Is that okay? That's what this is. And it's people who stand Snape, who get hyper defensive over him and try to whitewash all of his actions really piss me off. It's like, you know, you can like what Snape was, or what Snape could have been. You can like the idea of Snape. He says, and you can even enjoy his character. No one's saying you can't enjoy his character, but when you're attacking people, arguing, and trying to treat him as if he's just this big victim, when he ends up causing most of his problems, it's hard to find him as a victim. Let's be real here, guys. And I mean, it's not like I want to hate Snape. I mean, when I was growing up and reading the books, I was always going this back and forth of, oh, what's Snape really like? Is he a hero? Is he a villain? And then, you know, growing up and looking at this, I realized he's just a poorly written character. Snape could have been more interesting, and I grew up with the Harry Potter books. I have all of the books. I read all of them. A lot of them I ended up getting on hardcover, which I don't really have a whole lot of hardcover books, you know, because I love the series so much. I never wanted to hate it. And frankly, it was a painful revelation when I started realizing that the books were bad. And one of those things was Snape. I mean, there were several things that never really sat well with me. I never liked the idea that Snape and Lily were childhood friends, but you know, when you're reading the books and it's like, and I was young and I wasn't really as critical in my thinking back then, so I didn't analyze as much. And a lot of times, if I felt, oh, I don't really like this, but then I'd push it away like, oh no, but this is a series that I love. I can't really hate Harry Potter. Ha. And, you know, but it's clear that the portrayal of the thing, of what happened with Lily, James, and Severus Snape, it's like, it makes sense why it played out the way it did, and it's frankly one of the few things late in the books that actually makes sense. You know, alright, you know, to really sum this all up, you know, Snape treated Lily like crap. Lily broke off their friendship. Lily ended up dating and later marrying a man who changed, probably, you know, who changed for the better in just a couple of years, became a better person for her. So she dated and married him, and were happy. And you know, if Snape was like understanding and maybe in a, okay, you know, I don't like James Potter, but he makes Lily happy, and you know, then you see Harry. If he was like nicer to Harry, even if he was just specifically nice to him, because he was Lily's son, I wouldn't hate this all so much. But it's like the fact that he treated people like crap, and then the books, and then Rowling tries to exonerate him as this hero. Like, no, that's not how this works. You don't have someone act like a prick, and then go, but, guys, we like him, so Harry names his son after him. Right, guys? We like Snape. Snape abuses his students, but we like Snape, right? No. And frankly, anyone who says that Lily was wrong to cut off her friendship with a guy who wanted people like her dead, except for her, because he likes her. No. No. Sorry, but yeah, no sell on that. I ain't buying that. And, you know, there are a lot of issues with the way Snape is written, and a lot of people just don't really want to admit it. But guys, you can like Snape, you can write your fan fiction with Snape, but you can't deny what the crap happened, even if J.K. Rowling wants you to forget all the crap that he did. I don't. And a lot of other people don't. We're not going to forget that. So, we understand why Lily broke off her friendship with Snape. And it was perfectly reasonable. Well, I think that's about it for this topic. If you want to submit a topic to me, you can comment below if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Tumblr, send me an ask and put topic : then whatever topic you want me to talk about. Just make sure to follow the rules that I'll be posting down below. If you want to watch last week's topic video, you can check that out here. If you want to watch next week's topic video, you can check that out here when I get that done. So if there's anything else that you think about, that you have thoughts on with the whole Snape and Lily situation, please comment below. And thank you for watching.